Hello, everybody. Good evening. It is just after 5:30 here on the West Coast, and I'm making my second video in regards to this 42-day sprint to Christmas. It is day one of the 42 days. I mean, not including yesterday, and I'm not including Christmas Day, all the way up to Christmas Eve. So today has been productive for me and has been pretty good sales wise across the board. Not great or excellent or anything like that, but has been really good. And so basically today what I was able to do was take photos of and list 35 CDs on eBay. I spent the morning doing that. Finished that up. Yeah, I finished it up in the afternoon, but spent the day doing that. And I sold out of those 35, I already sold one of them. And it was one that I was surprised by, actually. It was a CD. I come across frequently CDs in other languages, and this one is Vietnamese language CD. And I'm not familiar at all with the artists and a hard time figuring out, I mean, clearly I don't read Vietnamese, but I figured that, I figured out what the name of this woman was and put the rest of it up there. And I couldn't find any other copies of it that had sold or that are currently up there. But anyway, I listed it, and I got, soon after I listed it, I don't know, an hour or so, I got two offers back to back. I listed it for $29.99, and I got an offer for $10, and then I got offered for $12. I responded to the $12 offer with a $20 counter offer. Didn't hear anything, and then I responded to the other one with the same amount, and the person that offered 10 initially bought the CD for $20. So that was fun. That was a surprise. I thought that was a CD that would take a little bit longer to sell, but you just never know. Maybe this is particularly hard to find or popular. I don't know. If anybody ever watches this video and knows anything about this woman, this singer, Vietnamese singer, that would be interesting to hear. If she's, well, I didn't Google her. I don't know. Maybe she's a big deal. But the CD was from like 92, so it's an older CD. I come across some of those sometimes. So that was interesting to see that one sold and it had so much interest. So you never know. That's why it's important to do some research. And then sometimes when it's obscure, if you don't find anything about it, it's good to just list it on eBay, because that is the perfect, as far as I'm concerned, the best place to list more obscure titles, whether they are CDs or books or DVDs or any other media and things in general. But definitely for CDs and books and DVDs and that type of stuff, it can be a great place where you can put this stuff that you can't find anywhere else, and somebody might want it. Sometimes it'll take a lot longer to sell. Sometimes seemingly will never sell. But the more you list, the more you try out, the more you know what actually is worth putting up, and what genres and artists and singers and that type of thing. And also the same thing for books. Get better at figuring out what's worth it. So these were CDs that I had pulled out of the Gaylord, one of the more recent, I think the last Gaylord that I had. I also had some CDs in there that I had stacked next to my resurfacing machine for discs that have been sitting there for a long, long time, months, and I just hadn't gotten around to resurfacing them. So I decided, why don't I just deal with this? So I went through them, and those were part of it as well. And there might have been a few others from somewhere else, but nonetheless, they were CDs that I intended on listing on eBay, and I didn't want to just put into another box. Oh, Terry says, a new VHS tape for about $18, just a day or two after listing it. I was very surprised. Yeah, you never know. VHS is fun. I sold a lot of VHS. Probably a couple of years ago, I got pretty big into it, and it was fun. There's a lot of obscure titles out there. So yeah, I think that's another great example. It could be on Amazon as well, but you can find obscure stuff or new. I mean, it doesn't have to be that obscure, but that's good. It's a good sale. So yeah, basically that's what I spent most of today doing, or all of today really. I got so 35 items listed, and then for tomorrow I have a bunch of video games, most of them PC video games. There's a few PlayStation video games, probably like, I don't know, half a dozen or 8 or so. And then I have like a DVD and an audiobook and maybe a couple of computer software discs. So I'm going to take pictures and hopefully list all of that tomorrow. And then I'll be through that. And then what else did I have? Oh, I have some stuff outside that is in a box that was some higher price stuff that I brought to the flea market and wasn't able to sell any of it. So I'm gonna take photos of those probably Thursday and get to that stuff. And then once I'm through all that, what I'm gonna probably end up doing is finally starting to go through the Gaylords of DVDs that I have in the storage unit. I have 2 Gaylords overflowing with DVDs, and those are going to should do really well in the run up to Christmas and after. So I want to clear out the space in the storage unit, free up the space. It's because those have been there a long time, and I want to sell them. So that's probably going to become a big deal. The winds of change. Hey man, so still never figured out where to get a Gaylord. Sorry to hear that. Did you look? Well, of course you did, but where did you look specifically? Where were you looking? So that's where I'm headed. Let's see. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll briefly talk. I mean, Gaylords, I was kind of semi-lucky, I guess, dumb luck, I don't know, that I found them. Oh, okay. Well, what I would recommend is, so check Craigslist, check local apps like OfferUp, and the other one, forgot the name of it. There's 2 big ones. Those, I found Gaylords on both of those, on the apps, the local apps, and as well as Craigslist. I have not found anything or looked that hard on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if that's somewhere where that might pop up, but that could be worth it just to give it a shot. Aside from that, if you want to go the more difficult route or the traditional route, you can go to thrift stores and ask. Now, if you're going to go to a Goodwill, it's probably not going to work. But if you go to smaller bookstores, you can bookstores, thrift stores, or even thrift stores that have a couple of different branches, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4, whatever, a couple, 2 or 3, and see if they have excess books. Because a lot of times they'll have too many books, and they'll be looking for a way to get rid of them because they don't have the space for them because they get so many books. And that could be a way you could start out getting a couple of Gaylords. Of course, this all requires, walking in and sort of being a salesman, sort of, but not necessarily, because you're not really. May work at others, I suppose. Salvation Army always junk and drove. Oh, and drove far. Yeah. Did you get only 1 Gaylord, or did you try a couple Gaylords? Because a couple things. Maybe all their Gaylords are no good because they've already gone through them and they're selling online. I don't know if Salvation Army sells online. Maybe it was a bad Gaylord. Maybe there was other ones that were better. I don't know. But sometimes that's the scenario. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they go through the books and pick out the best ones or the ones they feel that'll sell in the store, or they might be selling them online. I don't know. I know Goodwill, by and large, sells online. They have huge accounts online that on Amazon and on eBay, actually. I don't know if Salvation Army does that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But Gaylords are usually found from thrift stores or recyclers. So another one is recyclers. So paper recyclers sometimes will have a lot of books. So you can go there and try that out as well. Contact them and see. You never know. But I didn't go that route, and I was able to find multiple sources, like way more than I could handle by myself. I mean, my current source is already offered me a trailer load of books. He says, "Don't even, I'll store them for you, and just charge you to deliver them little by little." So it's out there, and yeah, no problem. I mean, good luck with it. Hopefully you find it. I don't know where you live. I don't know what it's like in your area in terms of you know, the recycling situation and thrift stores and that sort of thing. But look around, you know, ask around, let people know that you're looking for it. You know, get business cards when you go to a thrift store. Hand out your business card and say, "I buy books. I buy and sell books. So I'm looking to buy a lot of books." You can also go the route of posting ads on Craigslist. Uh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so there's different ways. The ways that I found my source now, I found them on Craigslist. Literally, they had posted on Craigslist. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because oftentimes, so the big recycler, I mean, either the big recyclers or thrift stores, the chains like the Goodwill, Salvation Armies will often have auctions, that type of thing, or I don't know. I mean, I'm not familiar with how to get directly to the source because my source is not, you know, Goodwill. It's the person that buys from those people, and so they're sort of the middleman, and you know they're getting it for less, and then they're charging me a little bit more so they can make their money, their profit. But anyway, so yeah, keep looking. So today, let's see. Yeah, so I went over that. 35 CDs listed on eBay, photographed and listed. One of them sold for 20 bucks, which was nice. It was an offer, was accepted. And today I looked at let me see if it's changed. Okay. Have a good night. Let's see. Where is it? Got it. So today so far I have 9 FBA sales, which is good. Yesterday I only had 4, and so I had 9, and then I have had 2 merchant fulfilled sales. I had one early this morning and one that just came in like in the last hour. So 11 total so far. Again, here it's only 5:50 p.m. So I've got another, if I can do the math, another 6 hours to make more sales. So I would be surprised if I didn't make some more FBA sales, but we'll see. Why did I get 9 FBA sales today so far? I do not know. I have 2 2 shipments. Well, I had 1 shipment that split 6 ways. So 2 of those shipments are being currently received in California, like in Sacramento, and then the other one was in Phoenix. So those are currently being received. So 2 of the 4 should be live either today or tomorrow. But I don't think any of those sold. Actually, that's not true. I think 2 of them sold. So that was some help. But then 7 other ones were from stuff I already had in my inventory. So yeah, was it 55? And so like 70 or so items went live. And then I'm going to have another 130-ish that'll be going live in the next week or so. So that'll be good. I don't have any plans to send in anything else FBA before next year, but you never know. If I go to a book sale or something, I might, or if I happen to find some really good stuff at the thrift store randomly, I might do another shipment. But the problem is even though I use AccelerList in private mode, I still get split shipments, less than I would if I did it in live. But 6 is better than 10 or 11, but it's still pretty obnoxious, and that's with 200 items. So if I only have if I have much less items, the chances are high that they'll be split. But anyway, so 9 FBA sales today, 2 merchant fulfilled, so 11 Amazon sales so far for a gross of $144. I had 2 eBay sales today so far. That CD for 20 bucks, and then I had another, what was it? Oh, right, another CD lot that was paid for or that sold. I had some other. That's not true. I had some other eBay sales. They just haven't been paid yet. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, 2. There's some other stuff I need to. Anyway, yeah, two other ones that sold today. Yeah. So basically, that's been the day. I'm just going to keep focusing on listing everything that I can in the time that I have on eBay. And if I come across stuff that makes sense for me to do merchant fulfilled, then I'll do it. I may, I may not be going to a thrift store this week. The thing is, I just feel like I should just keep focusing on what I'm doing because I have so much to list on eBay that I don't really have, that much. If I want to get through this stuff, I don't have that much time to deal with going out and sourcing at a thrift store. And then, even if it's FBA of some really good stuff, if I don't have that much stuff to send out, it's probably not worth it to send until I get more stuff together. And I don't want to order more Gaylords because I'm trying to just get through what I have. I have one whole Gaylord of books that are going to be recycled, and then another Gaylord that's like almost half full of books. So when I do order next time, they'll take those away. So I'll have a lot more space in the storage unit. I'm trying to get down to like having hardly anything left for eBay, so that when I start getting new Gaylords again, that I will not continue to accumulate so much stuff to sell on eBay. And that as I get it, I can just, do the Amazon stuff and then turn around and list the other stuff on eBay and not just continue to accumulate it and have it overtake the storage unit, basically. I donated a bunch of books to this lady that lives in my city who has a free library, and she's kind of expanded it more than the library. She's got a bunch of tables out front of her house, and she uses her garage, and she's got a bunch of bookshelves in there, and it's sort of like a little bookstore, except it's all free. And I donated a bunch of books to her, probably like, I don't know, over 100 or so. Books that I just could not make any money off of, and I just wanted to get rid of. And she, she's able to distribute them. She has people who, like her clientele, that she can contact her. They come by and she can move that stuff, which is good. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of where I am, guys. If you guys don't have any questions or anything, I'll probably end the video soon. One other thing I wanted to mention, which somebody had mentioned, is secondspin.com. So I used to use Declutter like a while back to get rid of excess CDs. And I wasn't aware that Second Spin had a good, I was aware that they bought CDs, but I didn't know that they were paying pretty well for them. So I tested out a few, and I scanned some into their website. Apparently you can only do it on their website, but you can, I can just plug in my scanner, and I scanned a bunch of them, probably like 50 or so, maybe more. And then they accepted 22 of them, and they offered $16. So it came out to, I think it was like just under 80 cents, which is not bad at all, considering the Declutter was giving like, 5, 10, 15 cents, on average. I was lucky if I was going to average 15 cents per CD, and I was sending in hundreds of CDs. And I was okay with that because I just wanted to get rid of them, because I was only doing Amazon, only doing FBA. I wasn't doing merchant fulfilled, and I wasn't doing eBay. But now that I'm doing all that stuff, I'm still looking possibly, because I have a bunch of CDs in my garage that I already went through for FBA. But I haven't gone through and organized for eBay. But I'm thinking that I'll scan them and see, which ones or how much money I can make off of them from Second Spin and see how it goes. But I've heard good things about that. So that's another way. If you're not aware of it and you're doing with CDs, I have not yet sent anything in, but apparently they pay pretty well. I mean, almost 80 cents a CD. I don't know if that average will go down the more I scan in. That tends to be the issue with this. So maybe it'll go down more, but we'll see. That could be a good option to move some CDs that I don't want to have to deal with selling on eBay because it's so time consuming. There's still going to be some left that they're not accepting. Sometimes they don't recognize the barcode, or they say that they don't need a copy of that. They're already stocked. I don't know if they're talking about their stores or online or whatever, but anyway, that's an option as well. Yeah. So I think I'm going to end the video here, guys. I appreciate you watching. I don't want to keep going on and on because I don't have much else to talk about. I just want to keep you guys apprised of what was going on. My sales are up a little bit today for Amazon, and I highly recommend diversifying. If you're just doing FBA, I highly recommend getting into Merchant Fulfilled and getting into eBay so that you're not only having to deal with FBA and all the issues with that, the split shipments, the higher fees, and having to wait potentially a long time to have your stuff go live, for it to ship in and then for it to get checked in and all that stuff. It's nice to diversify. I'm not saying that I'm going to stop doing FBA or that you should stop doing FBA, but it's nice to just in case things go wrong with FBA for whatever reason, in case it gets worse with the fees or they throw in some other roadblock like split shipments, that you can always do Merchant Fulfilled. You can always do eBay. So just keep that in mind, that not only diversify within the products that you do, if you're doing just books or CDs or DVDs or whatever, it's nice to do different types of products, but also to diversify into the marketplaces. That's nice. Maybe. Terry says that there might be a new warehouse in Memphis because he's not getting any split shipments and they're all going there. Well, I think back upon the days not too long ago when I did not get split shipments. Those were amazing. I could just have like 30 books, 50 CDs, and I can do one shipment and just send it out. So it's not as easy these days with split shipments to do weekly shipments unless you're going through a lot of products, a lot of product, and you're able to send out hundreds a week or something like that. But whoops. But yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I wish I could have those days back of no splits. No. Teresa asked, are you getting a problem with price alerts too for your Amazon stuff? No, I'm not. No, I have 15 items that are stranded. I got to deal with that. Looks like all I can do is create a removal order, but I don't have any price alerts. So no, for whatever reason, I haven't had to deal with that. I think, from what I heard, it has to do with textbooks, but I don't have too many textbooks in. So I'm mostly CDs with some books and some audiobooks. So no, I haven't, fortunately. Yeah. Restrictions of certain publishers' textbooks and related books. Yeah. There's always issues with textbooks because, counterfeiters and, that type of thing. And those, the publishers having issues with Amazon. So, or sellers on Amazon. So yeah, that's probably what it is, or that is what it is. But I don't focus on, or rather, I just don't come across that many textbooks for it to be that big of a problem for me. I send in some textbooks I send them in when I find them, either in Gaylords or out in thrift stores or whatever. But I'm not, a textbook kind of seller. And there's a lot of people that are heavy into that, and that's great if you have access to it. So yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. I will make another video tomorrow. Hopefully I have another good day of sales tomorrow on Amazon. I'm going to have another 130 store items. So I should have about 1,100 plus items. Once all this stuff hits the warehouses. So that's a pretty good amount to go into the rest of November and December. Hopefully I will have a nice sell-through in December, and my inventory can be depleted tremendously so that I can so that I can make a lot of money off of it and not have to worry about it sitting there. Teresa says my books were inactivated because they said my price was too high, but that makes no sense because it was one of the lowest prices. Doesn't make sense. Also had some children's books inactivated. Wow, that's weird, Teresa. I don't know. I don't Amazon. This is what I mean. There's always something with them. Um, I heard that they also were deactivating some merchant fulfilled books as well. So I guess it affects both. But I don't know. I mean, kids' books are not textbooks, so I don't know if it's a glitch with their software or whatever. But it's just another thing with Amazon. Uh, it just seems like they're just too big. I don't know, too complicated. But nonetheless, so yeah. So I'll have a good amount of inventory going in. 1,100 or so items should be live within the next week or so, and hopefully sales will pick up tremendously. So that, I mean, ideally, I would love to sell half of that from now till the end of the year. That would be awesome, and have a small inventory going into the new year. But I need to focus for. I've probably got several thousand. I mean, items to list on eBay, and I just have to get to it because there's money to be made, and it's taken up too much. It's been sitting there for too long, and it's taken up too much space. So I either got to list it or get rid of it. So I'm going to list it. Yeah, guys. So I will make another video tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good night, and that you are sales will pick up, and then you'll have some good finds tomorrow when you're outsourcing. All right, guys, keep looking.